of a warring type of family. If you look at the Genovese crew and the Gambino crew, they had a lot of earners. They were making money in those crews. I had an issue with Sammy Guevara because he said, you know, a lot of guys are mad that you got straightened out so early. Because I was one of the first batch in '75.
What would you think would have been the difference between families? I mean, it was 5 different families. You were part of Colombo's. Okay, I was around the Gambinos.
You know, it's all about leadership, and we were more of a warring type of family. You didn't have tremendous earners in our family, a lot of them. We had a couple of that. In the Colombos back then, Robert, we had 115 made guys that took the oath. Out of that 115, I think 20 of us were earning money. The rest were just getting by. No-show job, little gambling operation, little money on the street, and that was it. If you look at the Genovese crew and the Gambino crew, they had a lot of earners. They were making money in those crews. And I think that's from leadership. That's my opinion. Junior, I mean, Joe Colombo, I didn't have a chance because he died, you know, early on before I even got made. I was a recruit at the time. But Junior was more, he wasn't a business guy. And he just didn't lead our family in that direction. But the Gambinos, yes. Genovese, yes. Bonannos were kind of the same like us, you know, pretty much. So, but that's what I saw as the difference. And Genovese and Bonannos, they had over 200 guys. And I used to ask Junior, I said, Junior, how come we don't have enough guys? And he said, well, we look at quality over quantity. I said, yeah, right, you know. That was his answer. But
Well, I remember when they opened up the books on, I think it was in 75, right?
75. Yeah.
75, they opened up the books. And I remember them straightening out, with the family that I was around, the Gambinos, straightening out guys that might have been earners, but not really.
Yeah. Well,
Guys that should have been straightened out, because I know a lot of the guys that I was around was very not happy about these guys going before
Bringing
they
guys,
even went.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm talking about the street guys that went in the street doing the tough guys things. And then you seen a lot of families, you know, getting their own family straightened out.
well, you know, I had an issue with Sammy Guevara because he said, you know, a lot of guys are mad that you got straightened out so early. Because I was one of the first batch in '75. And I said, hey, Sammy, if they wanted to honor my father for being such a stand-up guy, what do you want from me?
Right.
I didn't ask them to go first, you know.
Right.
My father needed help, and he wanted me straightened out, so they honored that.
Okay.
I was one of the first guys, but I said, what are you mad at?
Yeah.
He said, well, it's not me, but other guys would talk. And I said, well, they didn't talk to me about it. I didn't have many issues with anybody on the street, Robert. I had pretty good relationships. You know, one of the issues that I had was because I was one of the younger guys. And so some of the older guys kind of resented when I started making money and stuff like that. But I understood that. And I knew that, okay, they've been around a lot longer than me. I may pull rank on them even when I was made a captain, but I want to treat them a certain way so they don't think that I'm some wise-ass kid, you know?
Okay.
And so I got along with most of the people there. I didn't have many issues.
But you think, because I'm going to be careful how I say
No,
certain
just
things,
don't worry.
because when I used to hear about you, that's how I heard about you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
That, just being honest.
no,
You know, that's how I heard about you.
well,
you
because
know?
there was a lot of resentment. There really was. Look, I was making a lot of money. I mean, Robert, I had my own jet plane. I had a helicopter. I had a house in Florida, a house in California. I mean, you know, I was driving around in the nice cars, and guys resented that. There's no question. So I had to be careful. It's like anything else, even in the legitimate world. You know, you're young, people resent it. But again, it's a little more intense on the street. So I was mindful of that, and I had to try to, you know, deal with it the right way, which I thought I did. But look, you never know.